I'm often asked by students, how can I improve my reading comprehension skills? Or how can I improve my speed of reading to help me on the LSAT and specifically on the reading comprehension section? Well, there's a number of short-term solutions and tricks and techniques that you can use to improve in all these areas of the LSAT. But for the purpose of this video, we're going to look at a longer-term solution. So if you're looking at this and you've got a couple of weeks to go before your LSAT, it's probably not going to help you out that much. But if you've got a month or more, you can put these techniques into practice and it's going to help you improve your ability to read analytically and quickly to help improve your score on the LSAT and specifically on the reading comprehension section. So the first thing I'd recommend in improving your reading abilities is practice. Now it seems kind of obvious, but there's specific ways that you're going to practice your reading to improve on the LSAT. And that is, pick up a copy of a newspaper or specifically a magazine, a periodical, something with complex text. I'd suggest The Economist. The reason I like that is a lot of the topics included in the articles in The Economist are similar to what you find on the LSAT. You'll find things like economics, obviously, and business, but also social sciences, biological sciences, and even the arts. So all of these kind of things will get you familiar with these topics that may not be familiar to you from your undergrad in school, and so you'll be more prepared to deal with them when you come across these passages on the LSAT dealing with these complex and unfamiliar topics. When you've got your copy of the newspaper or The Economist, you're going to have to pick up lots of these on a regular basis, obviously. You should be reading a couple of articles every day at least. The great thing about this kind of studying is it's not like your typical LSAT studying. You don't have to be sitting in a quiet environment in the library. You can be doing it on the bus, before you go to bed at night, or pretty much anywhere, even in class if it's a particularly boring class. So you're practicing, you're reading these articles regularly throughout the day. You cannot be reading in the way in which you normally read. You have to focus, and that's really the key here, is you have to force yourself to focus when you're reading. Have you ever been reading a novel before going to bed at night? You get to the end of a page and you realize, I have no idea what I just read. It happens to all of us, but you have to avoid this on the LSAT. You can't let that happen on the LSAT. So some of the ways that you're going to avoid this is by employing the second half of your brain, putting it to work and forcing it to do something else. Now, when I say the second half of your brain, I mean that part of your brain that's usually thinking about other things. You're daydreaming. You're thinking about what you had for lunch today or that hot date you've got tonight. You can't be thinking about those things, but in order to stop that, you have to give your brain something else to do. So what is it going to be doing? It's going to be thinking about what you're reading, analyzing it, summarizing it. So as you're reading, you're going to be creating a short mental summary in your mind as to what the general idea is of what I'm reading. But you're also going to focus on specific points. Things like, what's the author's viewpoint here? Or what's the main point of this whole article? What are they really getting at? Or what kind of transitions are happening? Is the article taking one direction and then moving off in another direction? Is it presenting one idea and then coming at it and criticizing that idea, or presenting the viewpoint of someone else? And who is that someone else? These are the kind of things you're analyzing and critiquing while you're reading through the article. Another thing you can do to help yourself focus and to improve when you come to the actual LSAT passages is to take some notes. So you're reading your newspaper article, your magazine article, make notes. And what I mean by this is go through and actually circle things, underline things, draw boxes, put in stars or draw arrows to important points. You don't want to actually write out shorthand notes on the side. Don't do that, but just circle things that are there, underline them, make stars, make notes of things that are going on in the article. And the kind of things you're going to be highlighting are the things we just identified that your second half of your brain is going to be focusing on. So things like your author's viewpoint, the viewpoint of other people in the article, transition points in the article, or if you point out, hey, this sentence neatly summarizes the main point, you definitely want to make a note of that. So you're going through, you're reading, you're focusing, you're making notes on the article as you're reading it. When you finish reading, at some point later that day, you want to take the time to explain this article to someone else. So grab a parent, grab a friend, and say, hey, I want to tell you about something I read today. Tell them about the article. And this is going to force you to do a couple of things. It's going to force you to recall it, so it's improving your memory. It's going to force you to summarize it, so it's improving your ability to condense that complex text that you read and summarize it into something a little bit more simple. And it's also going to improve your ability to analyze it, because you're not going to just tell them what you read. You're going to tell them a little bit about your opinion on it, or some things that you thought there was a problem with it, or it didn't address this enough. And so it's improving your analytical abilities in analyzing this passage. And all of these things are essential skills for reading on the LSAT, and specifically for the reading comprehension section. Just to give you a little bit more incentive to put these techniques into practice, when you're doing this, reading through these articles, improving these analytical reading and speed reading abilities, because you're actually going to become faster at reading if you force yourself to read through articles regularly, giving yourself these added abilities will improve your LSAT score, but it'll also help you in the future, because being an analytical reader is something that is used by LSAT students or by law students on a regular basis. Every day in law school, you're going to have to read complex text and analyze what's going on. And you're going to also use this as a lawyer. So put these skills into use and become a better LSAT student, and in the future, a better law student and a better lawyer. Well, I hope this video helps you in your LSAT prep. If you're looking for more help, try our full course. It's online and it's available at alpha-score.com.